Hi, my dear students. I am Praveen Sebastian Paul, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Application, Don Bosco College, Kottayam. This is the second lecture of the subject Digital Electronics for the first semester BCA students. This subject has introduced by the University of Kerala for the first semester BCA students. This subject is divided into 4 modules. In the first module, we are dealing with the diodes, transistors and oscillators. In the second module, we are dealing with the number system, binary number system, octal, hexadecimal numbers, the conversion between these number system, and the binary arithmetics, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, etc. In the third module, we are discussing the Boolean functions using logical gates, that is AND, OR, NOT, NAND, NOR, XOR gates. In the fourth module, we are dealing with the multiplexers, adders, subtractors, decoders, and digital display devices. So before discussing about the digital electronics, we need to have some basic idea about some terms. For this, let us discuss about 2 types of signals available: alternating current or AC, as well as a direct current or DC. When we are considering an AC signal or an alternating signal, the direction of electricity flows throughout the circuit is constantly reversing. That is, it is alternating its direction of flow of current. The rate of reversal of this electric signal is measured by the term known as Hertz, which is the number of reversals per second. That is, if we are dealing with an alternating current with 50 Hertz, that means that AC is changing its direction 50 times in a second. If we are dealing with a current with 25 Hertz, which means that AC signal is reversing its direction for 25 times in a second. And the second type of current is the direct current or DC. With a direct current, the electricity flows in one direction between the power and ground. In this arrangement, there is always a positive source of voltage as well as a ground source of voltage. So there is a positive source as well as a zero voltage or a ground source of voltage. So next we are going to discuss about some basic components considering with an electronic or a digital circuit. So firstly, we are discussing about a battery or a cell. A battery or a cell is a container which converts the chemical energy into an electrical energy. Simply we can say that a battery or a cell store power or some charge. The batteries are represented in a circuit by a series of alternating lines in different length. There are also additional marking for power and ground. A plus symbol represents the power as well as minus symbol represents the ground voltage provided by that cell. The next term is a switch. A switch is basically a mechanical device that creates a break in a circuit. When you activate the switch, it opens or closes the circuit. So next we are defining the term resistor. As the name implies, resistors are devices which are introduced or add resistance to the circuit. That means it reduces the flow of electric current in a circuit. These resistance are measured by the unit ohms. So the next term is capacitors. A capacitor is a component that stores the electricity, and whenever it is required, these charges are then discharged into the circuit when there is a drop in electricity. The unit of measuring capacitance is farad. Generally, we can see 2 types of capacitors in an electronic environment. The first one is ceramic disc type capacitor. These ceramic disc capacitors are non-polarized, which means that the electricity can pass through them no matter how they are inserted in the circuit. This type of capacitors is typically represented in a schematic diagram as 2 parallel lines with the numeric value of capacitance above or below that lines. So in this ceramic disc capacitors, the charge can pass through in any direction. They have no polarity or they are not polarized. The next type of capacitor is electrolytic capacitors. So these electrolytic capacitors are basically polarized type capacitor, which means that one leg is connected to the ground side and another leg must be connected to the power side. That is, if it is connected backwards, these capacitors won't work properly. We can see a minus symbol marked in the leg which should be connected to the ground. This capacitance is represented in the schematic diagram as a side-by-side straight line and a curved line. The straight line represents the power side and the curved line represents the ground side. If we are connecting in the reverse order, the circuit will not be able to work in the correct manner. So the next term we are discussing is about diode. The diodes are components which are polarized. They only allow the electrical current to pass through them in one direction. It can be placed in a circuit to prevent the electricity from flowing in a wrong direction. So when we are looking into a diode, we can find a ring in one side of the diode which indicates the side of the diode which should be connected to the ground. This side is known as cathode and the other side can be connected to the power. This side is known as anode. So in the circuit, the diodes are represented in a schematic way as a line with a triangle pointing to it. The line is the side which is connected to the ground and the bottom of the triangle is the side which should be connected to the power. So we can summarize that diodes are devices which allow the electrical current to pass through them in a single direction. So the next term is transistors. A transistor is a component that takes a small electrical current at its base pin and amplifies it such that much larger current can pass between its collector and emitter pins. The amount of current that passes between these two pins is proportional to the voltage being applied at the base pin. Basically, there are two types of transistors known as NPN transistor and PNP transistor. So surely we will discuss more about this transistor in the upcoming lectures. So next term is integrated circuit or an IC. An integrated circuit is an entire specialized circuit that has been miniaturized. These miniaturized circuits typically consist of components such as transistors, resistors and diodes. So simply we can tell that these ICs are combinations of the components like transistors, resistors and diodes. And one of the important component is a potentiometer. A potentiometer is simply a variable resistor. So these devices have some knob or slider that we can turn or push to change the resistance in a circuit. Like the resistor, the unit of measuring potentiometer is ohms. So it's a component which is designed as a variable resistor. So it is represented in a circuit as a resistor with an arrow pointing towards the middle of it. And one of the important component in a digital environment is LED or light emitting diode. So the LED stands for light emitting diode. It is basically a special type of diode which light up or which emits light when electricity passes through it. Like all the diodes, LEDs are polarized and electricity is only intended to pass in one direction only. The working of this LED will be discussed in the upcoming lectures. So these are the basic components that we should know before discussing the digital electronics. So as I said before, this digital electronics is a paper introduced by University of Kerala to the first semester BCA students. Before discussing more about this digital electronics, my dear students, please go through these basic components and kindly go through these assignment questions. So the assignment questions are define battery, switch, resistor, capacitor, transistor, diode, LED, IC and potentiometer. So my dear student, in the upcoming lectures we will discuss more about these components, the circuits and how we can design a digital circuit by using these components. Until then, goodbye, thank you and all the best.